Scribbers here, and today we are again talking about What If. Now, of course, it is a little bit later than last week's one, but that is just because I've not been feeling 100% myself. Hence the rough, which is going to be going soon. But anyway, let's get straight to it with What If. And today's What If is all about T'Challa, and what if T'Challa became Star-Lord. Oh, yeah, we start out a little bit like how we started out with Guardians of the Galaxy. T'Challa's taken instead of Peter Quill. And we get all this little thing with him trying to get the orb, which is obviously the Power Stone. And is it the Power Stone? It's the purple one. I forget which one that is. I think it's the Power Stone. And he gets the Power Stone, and then of course we get this fella that I've forgotten his name, Korav, is it? Come along. That could be a planet, for all I know. He comes along, and he's like, you know, we're gonna have to take that off you. And it's like, you might know me by one name, sort of thing. It's like he presses the thing, and it's obviously T'Challa, not Peter Quill in this case. And it's the excitement that it's Star-Lord. You know, he doesn't actually get to say that he's Star-Lord, but because in this universe, Star-Lord is pretty good. You know, he's well known throughout the universe. A lot of things have changed. It's 20 years after T'Challa was taken. It's the same year that Peter Quill was meant to be taken, of course. So now we're 20 years out. So we are now 6 years behind what, of course, we would have been with Guardians of the Galaxy. In this universe, a lot of things are very different. Thanos, for instance, appears in this episode, voiced by Josh Brolin, and he's given a very different take on this one. But basically, T'Challa was able to settle him down on this whole genocide thing, something that keeps coming up. Captain Genocide, very funny stuff. You know, we get onto like stuff with the Collector as well, which is really good. There's some really good pieces with the Collector. For starters, when they start fighting, he's got a cap shield. He's got Mjolnir. I probably butchered that. Mjolnir, something like that. Thor's hammer. But the key piece that he's got, of course, is Ella's headpiece, which gives him all the powers of Ella. At least gives him the be able to manipulate and be able to, you know, I'm trying to think of the word. But he basically is able to bring into these weapons and stuff like that, and it's all very good. All the voice acting in this one is really good in comparison to the last one. I think they really found their footing with this one. There's a lot of difference. Like, the story doesn't feel too rushed. I mean, there's still a little bit of story issue in the case of, like, we're getting a lot of information, and I think it's going to stay that way, but we are getting a lot of information as we go along, trying to keep up with that. You know, in this universe, Nebula wasn't taken apart. There's no robotics on her except for her eye. Again, another big part of like the whole Thanos thing. Thanos saves Nebula in the end as well, which is quite nice. That there's it's a very different relationship between Nebula and Thanos that we get in this episode. Yondu, again, you know, the colours are brighter in this one. The Ravager's red is a lot brighter than what we've had in the films. You could put that down to the animation, but I personally think it's being put down to the fact that the Ravagers are not the same as they are in Guardians. They are a lot more heroic than the Guardians, like sort of thing, like the Ravagers in Guardians of the Galaxy. So you know, the Collector is a very big part of this. He's a muscled beast in this one. Who's to say he wasn't in Guardians films? It's just not shown. But in this one, he is an absolute beast, and it takes Yondu and T'Challa to take him out. Some of the key parts, of course, is that there's some really big moments in this episode that really make you think, like, you know, okay, so this is different, this is different, this is different, all that. There's going to be a lot of that in this series. The storyline overall is pretty decent. They're trying to get this this sort of entity being thing that would you know, revitalise a planet, give it life, you know, plant life, all this sort of thing. It's not something that's in the comics, but it sounds like a lot of other things. It's also possible that that's where Groot comes from. I've seen that from another YouTuber, so that's not from my point of view. It was just something that I saw that actually is a very good point, that it could be where Groot originates from. But yeah, Out of the Ducks in there as well. Very, very funny. Again, voiced by Seth Green. We've got a lot of voice actors in there. The only ones that I can think of that aren't the voice actors is literally one character, and that's Chris Pratt as Peter Quill. Because we do get Peter Quill in this episode for one scene, and it shows him in the diner that we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, that was part of where, like, Ego started to destroy Earth, and, you know, like, take over Earth, basically, with that bubble thing. We saw this diner before. It's the diner that his mum worked at, and Peter Quill's there, he's listening to his music, he's mopping. You know, somebody walks in, and he's like, sorry, we're closed. And turn around, and there it is, Kurt Russell's Ego, and he's voiced by Kurt Russell as well. This is a moment that I was supremely shocked by. Was not expecting to see Peter Quill, or Ego for that matter, in this episode. But he's gone down and he's like, you want to know your heritage? Ego's eyes glow. And the Watcher, Uatu? Probably butchered his name. He's there and he's just like, you know, this could actually mark the end of the world. But that's another story for another day. Is it possible that this is something to do with what we'll get in episode 9, where it seems that a bunch of people are coming together to stop something? No. Based on the posters I've seen, it's an Ultron thing with the Infinity Stones, I believe. Ultron's the one that gets the Infinity Stones in this universe. However, there's something I'm realising, right? That something that hasn't been picked up on the posters for this is that the zombies. The zombie is Captain America. And Bucky, as Winter Soldier, is the one trying to take him out. The zombie Cap. They are not in the same universe within the Captain Carter sort of thing with that. So that's a different story on a different verse. Now, I assumed that all of the stories would interconnect in some way, shape or form, but this clearly doesn't. But anyway, this is a very good episode. Definitely better than the first, and it definitely picks up what it is that the series is about. You know, it definitely is starting to really get into that. I apologise that this was late, and because it's late, some of the stuff that I might have missed out, you know, it's because I'm late, because I've only watched it once on Wednesday. But anyway, that is my What If episode for today. I absolutely love this episode. Out of 10, I will give this a solid 8.5 out of 10. Again, rush story, lots to take in, lots to think about, but it works better than the first episode, which I believe I gave a 7. So yeah, that's it for today. That's my What If video. Got a few videos coming up soon. I'm going to be reviewing Free Guy, which I've been able to watch. I'm also going to be reviewing a few other things. But that's it for today. I've been Squirrel. This has been Squirrel Sphere. I know the camera is in a different place now. It's because my camera died. I had to put a battery in. So this part is completely separate to what I've already just done. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, folks.